Disgraced Prince Andrew might be getting his rehabilitation soon. You've likely heard about the sexual allegations against him and his forced exit from royal duties. However, that only scratches the surface of the king's younger brother's story. What is the epic follow-up to the abuse scandal, and which financial mess did Andrew leave the royal family with? Many people are eager to uncover the mystery of the Duke of York's life. A royal biographer, Andrew Lowney, is now working on a book about the late Queen's second son. To gain insight into the prince's life, he requested information about Andrew's official duties from the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. Surprisingly, these files won't see the light of day until 2065. That means the royal will be 105 years old when the information about him is disclosed. He may not even be around. Why the secrecy? Official sources have explained that they cannot uncover some information that is confidential. Of course, senior royal members have their own private deeds. But what about the rest of the information about the Duke of York's trips, meetings, and other activities? Many people find this situation quite disturbing. Usually, it's not a problem for royals to share about their work and lives. Sometimes they let historians spend time with them and document information for future generations. In Andrew's case, his extra privacy creates a vacuum for speculation and fantasists, especially as Prince Andrew has compromised himself numerous times in his lifetime. At the center of it all is his friendship with the infamous crime couple Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. These two have a long history of manipulating young ladies. They forced teenagers to become call girls. After several investigations, they were found guilty by the court. Andrew has stated more than once that he was never close with Epstein and had no idea about Jeffrey's crimes until legal action was taken. However, the facts say the opposite. In recent years, several never-before-seen photos of the trio from parties and even some royal events have leaked into the press. Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein accompanied the prince to Royal Ascot in 2000. They allegedly attended a party for Andrew's 40th birthday in one of the royal residences. In December 2000, the scandalous couple was spotted spending the whole weekend at Sandringham Palace. Prince Andrew also often stayed at Epstein's properties around the world. So it definitely seems more like a close friendship rather than a casual acquaintance. Could Prince Andrew really have no idea about Epstein's massive crimes being a regular guest at his houses? Well, even with Jeffrey behind bars, it didn't stop the royal from continuing the friendship. The two spent time together in the US in 2010, after Epstein was released from jail. Back then, the royal stayed in Epstein's mansion in New York. It became famous as the Horror House, as many young girls suffered abuse there. What's the most shocking part of that trip? Prince Andrew was spotted bidding farewell to a woman at Epstein's home. No one could explain who the young lady was or what kind of relationship they had. Back then, this trip to New York cost him a position as a trade envoy in Britain. After paparazzi snaps were released in the press, the Duke was forced to quit. Lots of people think that the files, which are kept top secret, could give us way more information about Andrew's connection with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. Netizens suspect the royal member was their client for a long time. Journalists recently revealed that the prince flew on Epstein's private jet at least 4 times, according to the flight logs. The plane usually flew to Jeffrey's private island, famous for big parties. Well, even without disclosing the files, Prince Andrew's one illegal case surfaced in the mid-2010s. Yes, we are talking about the allegations from Virginia Giuffre. The woman accused Prince Andrew of sexual assault and intentional infliction of emotional distress in 2001. She was only 17 when Epstein and Maxwell trafficked her to the prince.
He knows what happened. I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth.
To bolster her claims, Virginia provided a photograph of herself with the British royal. It clearly showed Prince Andrew with his hand wrapped around her waist. Some skeptics argued that the woman made the story up, and that the photo could be fake. After all, in this digital age, it's easier than ever to manipulate images, isn't it?
I don't remember that photograph ever being taken. We can't be certain as to whether or not that's my hand on her, whatever it is, left side.
However, the prince's reputation back then was not in his favor. He was known as the Party Prince from his youth and regularly made headlines for his short-lived romances with young women. Even in his 50s, the Duke was caught by cameras in the company of multiple girls who were around the same age as his daughters, like the model Alexandra Escat, or the bikini model with the questionable reputation Monica Jakasic. When Prince Andrew tried to clear his name in an interview with the BBC in 2019, many felt he only dug himself into a deeper hole.
That couldn't have happened because the date that is being suggested, I was at home with the children.
I don't think he's limited any damage. He's just opened up the wound even further, and which begs more questions.
After this controversial interview, many of the charities and businesses that Andrew was involved with broke ties with him. The royal family member had no other choice except to fully step down as a working member of the royal family in November 2019. I have asked Her Majesty if I may step back from public duties for the foreseeable future, and she has given her permission. However, this was only a temporary arrangement. This year, at King Charles III's coronation, he appeared in the church service wearing robes adorned with the badge of the Order of the Garter. Lots of media outlets reported that the king's brother also took part in an official coronation photo shoot. However, Brits were shocked at how quickly the royals forgot about the massive abuse scandal, especially as new evidence unfolded. This year, the original photo of Prince Andrew and his victim was found.
I was holding the original, photo in my hand. It was a normal print that you would have got from any sort of developer. It looked like it was 10 years old.
The snap also shows the date it was taken, March 13, 2001, and the place. This year, Virginia said she would release a tell-all memoir. In it, she may reveal new details about her connection with Prince Andrew, proving her allegations are true. So the question arises, why does Prince Andrew not answer in court for it? Actually, there was a lawsuit against the royal family member. However, Prince Andrew reached an agreement with Giuffre, causing her to drop the claim against him. But this settlement came at a hefty cost, approximately £12 million, and some sources suggest that the royal family footed the bill. Prince Andrew himself doesn't have such a crazy amount of money. When this news went public, it didn't sit well with the Brits, particularly during a national crisis. But not only does Prince Andrew not seem to care about the reputation of the royal family, he also doesn't care about the money he spends from the budget. Reports have surfaced of him tapping into public funds to cover his various scandals over the years. Plus, there are his private expenses, which include jets, luxurious mansions, and of course, frequent vacations with questionable companies. In addition to his title as the Party Prince, he's also been dubbed the Grand Old Duke of Broke for years. Even though he's had financial help from the crown, Andrew's still nearly drowned in debt several times. In 2007, he had to sell Sunninghill Park Mansion, his wedding gift from his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, just to clear his financial status. This year, another loud scandal arose connected to the prince's expenses. Right now, the prince and his former wife, Sarah Ferguson, share the Royal Lodge mansion. It's a sprawling 30-room estate estimated to be worth a staggering £40 million. While it is crown property, some expenses are paid from the budget. King Charles thought it was too much for the prince. First of all, many other royals with bigger families live in way smaller houses, like Prince William, Princess Catherine, and their 3 children, who have a 4-bedroom cottage. What's more, Andrew isn't even a working royal. So the king asked him to move into a more modest cottage, but the royals refused to leave the property. The law was on Andrew's side as he signed a 75-year lease for the house. Breaking the contract early would incur additional costs for the royal family. So now the monarch is allegedly trying to resolve this issue with his brother, quietly. Additionally, Charles decided to trim Andrew's royal salary, which was generous at £250,000 a year. It seems like sooner or later the Duke of York will have to accept the new rules of the modest monarchy. Lots of reports say that the king's brother is already quietly rehabilitating himself among the family. He accompanied the Prince and Princess of Wales to a church service in Balmoral. Andrew also spent the summer vacation with the family, and is usually there with the working royals for private gatherings. Will the royals eventually forgive and forget all his sins? And what are the chances that we will see the Duke on duty soon? Let us know in the comments what you think.